What's up? You in the back room with Becky. It's Saturday afternoon, and yeah, normally I don't come on and do a show on Saturdays, but I have a little time to kill, and just wanted to kind of say the same things I reiterated last week when I was doing popular culture events. There's so much controversy. Anytime a celebrity dies, you best believe there's going to be some controversy if there was any money involved. Now, I would like for us as human beings to not be so consumed with the negative side. Okay, Whitney's gone. She's out of her misery. She's not suffering. She's not worrying about y'all slanderizing her name because there's only one judge. I have heard everything said from she died in her sin because she killed herself, and oh, it's Bobby's fault. He was just a piece of trash. Just nasty, horrible things that people said. Just like y'all did when y'all found out that Beyonce was pregnant. First thing we do, and I can't speak for any people but my own, and being multicultural does not give me an excuse either. But I feel like sometimes we really, really work extra hard just to be mean. And it's like we hating because these people had these wonderful lives, and we rejoicing because they're having a hard time. I have never in my life seen anything like that. It's just horrible to me. Now, I speak my mind wherever I am: Facebook, Black Planet, MySpace, my blog space on WordPress. That's what freedom of speech is. And I try to allow people within reason to express themselves when I voice a comment. You know, there's no reason for me. I don't get upset with you all about what you say back to me. Please trust and believe me. As I would have stopped my YouTube vlogging, all of that. But that's not who I am. I'm not a quitter, and I've lived through a whole bunch of stuff, so it's not easy to discourage me or insult me. Trust me, I've heard worse. But what I wanted to say about today was that it's so remarkable to me that we as people can see everything in the world is wrong with other people, but we cannot see what's wrong with ourselves. It's something wrong with that. It's something very, very wrong with that. And in my mind, I've felt many times like if we're going to talk about people, then let's at least have the correct information. There's no way you can know everything about these celebrities. I don't care if they are on a reality show. You don't know them. We're sitting in judgment on each other that we see daily. That's bad enough. But then to sit in judgment over people that we don't even know. Just because you've seen them on TV, or you went to their concert, or you bought a DVD, or you bought an album. Come on now. They still human beings. And when I saw some of the mean and hateful things people said about Bobbi, remember, Bobbi is Bobbi Kristina's father. And that little girl has suffered a great loss. I've lost dads. I've lost children. I've lost my brother. I've lost my grandfather and one of my grandmothers. I have not lost my mother. And they say that's a whole nother kind of grief. I can't imagine anything worse than losing my child. Yes, I love my dads. I had two fathers. I'm blessed among women. Nothing in me says that I was not fortunate to have a good father and a good stepfather and a good mother who loved me and kept a balance for me. But you can look at the pictures of Bobbi Kristina and Whitney and see they loved each other. And I don't think that it's fair that we take this opportunity when we should be praying for the family and then just step back. We just like, they say this is a civilized society, that America is the land of the home of the brave and the free. Well, you don't have to be brave to criticize other people. I think you have to be brave to be the person that is criticized. And you're free to say whatever you want to say, but I think that everybody's freedom ends when the next person's freedom begins. I think that we as a people, unilaterally across the board, have this need to make folks feel bad or to vent in a negative way. I mean, I have my days. Trust and believe me, Ms.B is not positive all the time. But I make a conscious effort to say something positive, do something positive, do something productive every day. Do something for somebody else just because. Because see, what you're missing is Whitney lived her life. She was a model, an actress, an award-winning singer. She traveled the world. She married the man she loved. It don't matter that we don't agree. Who are we? Some of y'all married to somebody raggedy right now, and he don't have a job. But you criticizing Bobbi, then you're criticizing Whitney at the same time, okay? Because she was a grown woman when she was making her choices. And I don't, for one, my thing is, everybody got a Bobbi and a Whitney in their family. And let that resonate with you for a minute, because you're in denial. When we think that, that happened to them, never happened to suicide rate among black people. When Vesta died, they couldn't say for sure whether or not that was suicide. Don Cornelius, they knew for sure that was suicide. We don't know whether it's suicide or not, and it's not our place to know or to judge. Just know that there's a God that sits high and looks low. And when you try to say they're not going to heaven, you don't know, because you weren't in that last moment. Because God will intervene. I believe if he would take a sinner off the cross with him, a thief that was been hung with Jesus, you may be of a different religion, and you may not be able to grasp this, but just look at the parable, if you will. If a man who's been stealing all his life and stole so much that they're going to hang him up on the cross, that's a slow and torturous way to die. So you up on the cross with Jesus, and you look at him and say, you know that that's the Son of God, and you say, I want to be in heaven. Please forgive me of my sins. That moment that he turned to him and acknowledged, he was saved. So, in a person's last conscious moment, you're not there. That's a solitary and intimate event. They said, Becky, what you know? What I know a lot about death, up close and personal, baby. I've watched many of my loved ones pass away. Then the one with them, they drew their last breath. Been close to death myself. I just think it's a waste of energy and time for us to be so negative for no good reason. What we put out into the universe, we get back. Whitney put a lot of love into her music, and sometimes a lot of heartache, but we felt every bit of it. Now let's try to trust and believe that that same energy that she spent on us was not wasted. When she could have been spending time with her child, she was out entertaining and doing her job. Let's do our job as good fans and pray for her child, and pray for Bobbi and Miss Houston and the rest of the family, because this is not the time or the place for us to start tearing people apart. I hate that. I'm like, what is that? Why do we do that? The most memorable thing that I can do is remember that she gave me the courage to step out on the stage for one of the first times that I would do a solo, and it wasn't in a church venue. But I remember thinking to myself, Whitney said the greatest love of all is for you to love yourself. Now, she might not have wrote the word, but baby, she delivered. Remember that. Learn to love yourself, and then maybe you won't have time to hate anybody else. You've been in the back room with Becky. It is a serene Saturday. I got all of my stuff out the way. We have a little problem going on with my household. My housekeeper's husband is ill, very sick at the hospital. I'm waiting to hear word back. And that's why I'm still up now, and I'm not taking a rest before rehearsal. But remember, the big goody girls are back at Baby Boys of KC. And we will be having a new photo shoot next month. And we'll be scheduling some new shows around the city. We also do private parties. So hit me on Facebook. Hit me on Black Planet. Hit me on MySpace. MissBossLady2@gmail.com. And Miss Becky Shepherd on Facebook. Miss Boss Lady 2 Luscious B on BlackPlanet.com. So, in the meanwhile, in between while, do something you love with someone you love. Always peace and understanding for the people, baby. Thank you, James.